everybody, welcome back. This is Kim. This is going to be a quick video. This is aimed at delivery customers. Most of this applies to Doordash customers, but I think some of the information will apply to all food delivery customers. These are just some things that I think you should know and things that will make your experience better. So before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate you clicking the like button. Let's get going. Okay, this is specifically to Doordash, this information here. If you don't want a tip, then be prepared to wait for your food or risk not getting it at all. We know when there's no tip. And when there's no tip, the offer is really, really low. It doesn't matter if you live 1 mile away or 7 miles away from the restaurant. It's not worthwhile for us to accept that delivery offer if there's no tip attached, because that means we're going to get like $3 to $4. Drivers feel insulted when they don't get a tip. We are performing a service for you. We use our own cars, our own gas, on our own time. If, this is a huge if, Doordash paid more per delivery, the tip would not be as important. But they don't pay a lot for delivery. Most of them are $3, $4, $5 that Doordash chips in for these deliveries. Some of the deliveries, can take you a good half hour, 40 minutes. And if you do two, let's say you do two in an hour and they don't have tips, you're going to get $9 or $10 an hour. Maybe less. If you take the $3 ones, you're going to get $6 an hour. And out of that money, you have to take out money for taxes. You have to pay your gas and the car maintenance. So, yeah. Do you realize if you don't add a tip, Doordash drivers are only given $3 to $4 to deliver? So, all those fees that you pay when you order don't go to us. Doordash keeps all that. A lot of it's for overhead and whatever, but I think people really think, wow, I've already paid so much in fees. Why should I tip? I've already paid way more than the food is worth. But in order to get that food delivered to your house in a timely manner, you need to tip. I'm sorry. Until Doordash starts paying a larger fee to the drivers, you're going to have to tip. Otherwise, your order's just going to sit there. There are some delivery drivers who take all the orders. They, everything that comes to them, they accept it. And those are the people that are delivering these $3 orders, because most of us will not. Now, I'm not saying you need to go crazy and, tip $20, $30. Just tip a fair amount so that the dasher is compensated for their time. I'm not trying to, I don't know what the word is. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I, for one, never take these low offers because, I'm doing this to make money. I'm not doing it for the fun of it. You have to cover your time and your expenses. And, and we know which orders don't have a tip. We know which orders have a $1 or $2 tip. We're not taking those either. It's got to be worthwhile for us. You go to so many restaurants and there's just bags and bags of orders sitting there. And that's because none of the drivers want to take them. Those are all the orders that are no tip or a $1 or $2 tip. And they're just sitting there. And this one restaurant that I go to a lot, I asked how many are left over at the end of the day, and they have 10 or 12 orders that just sit there the whole night. No one ever picks them up, which is sad. But if those customers would have just chipped in a few more bucks, then they would have gotten their food. Another thing that is a Doordash issue. I don't know if you want to call it an issue. I think it's an issue. Doordash hides tips. There's nothing that you as a customer control in this. I don't know why they do it. They say so that they keep people from cherry picking, but I don't understand the reasoning behind it. So even if you tip really high, let's say you had, I'm going to use this for an example. Let's say you had a Chipotle order, one item, your order came to like $17 or something. So you got a drink or whatever, and you tip $20. The drivers will not see that $20. They won't see all of that $20 until after the delivery. Instead, they may see an offer for $8.50 or $9.50. So in their head, they're thinking, okay, it's a $5 tip or so. Most drivers would probably accept that delivery, depending on how many miles it is and which restaurant it is, and there are some factors, but most people would still take that. But they don't know that you tip $20. And then once they deliver the food and we click, okay, I'm done delivering, then you see the $20. Like, wow, that was a nice bonus. Grubhub, for instance, tells you up front what you're going to get. So okay, this person tipped a lot. I am going to give them extra wonderful service, even though I give all my customers the same level of service. I do my very best for everybody. But if I know someone tipped $20, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like they value what I'm doing. And anyways. So I just wanted to explain that hidden tip thing. I don't know why they do it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think that a lot of offers will go untaken and sit there longer because someone thinks, oh, that's a $3 or $4 tip, when the person probably tipped a lot more, but nobody knows it. So anyways, that was just something I wanted to bring up. I don't like the hidden tip thing. I mean, it is kind of fun because it's like a bonus, but I enjoy Grubhub because I know up front exactly what I'm getting. And if it says $10, I'm getting $10. If it says $26.50, I'm getting $26.50. If it says, $8, that's all it's going to be is $8. But you can make, at that point, your own decision whether you want to accept it or not. Doordash, it's a little trickier because you're not sure. Is it really going to be $12.50 or is it going to be $18? You know what I mean? Anyways, that's just my own thing. Okay, so that was all pretty much pertaining to Doordash. This will pertain to all food delivery platforms. We may need to contact you. Please answer text promptly. Answer the phone calls. If we leave a message, call us back. If you've ordered something, we may have questions. The restaurant could be out of two of the items that you ordered. And do you want to substitute for something else? Would you rather cancel? We don't know. We don't know what you want. If you ignore us, we may take the wrong substitution, or that item might be canceled altogether. Let's say you asked for onion rings and they were out of onion rings. You would have been perfectly happy with fries, but how am I supposed to know that? If you don't answer your text and you don't answer your call and you don't respond to the voicemail, it wastes our time and it delays you in getting your food. And you could end up with items that you don't want. So if you're expecting a delivery, answer the texts of phone calls. Just keep your phone next to you. Most of the time I don't have to ever contact anyone. But the times that you do, it's very frustrating when you're sitting there waiting and the restaurant's like, what do they want? What do they want? I'm like, I don't know. They're not responding to me. It's just a waste of time. And it makes your experience not as positive either. So answer your text, answer your phone. Finding your house is hard sometimes. Sometimes they all look the same. If it's dark outside, turn on a porch light. I've almost tripped a couple times, and as a woman, it's sometimes scary to walk up to a dark house. So just turn on a light. If you don't have a light, go get one. They're not expensive. If your house is hard to find or the address is not visible, give us a good description or some instructions so that we can find you. It's the fourth house on the right. We have a big white Suburban and a blue Volkswagen in the driveway. Look for the brick mailbox, whatever. Something that gives us a cue so that when we're driving up the street and it's dark, or even if it's not dark, but you don't have your address on your house, you'd be surprised how many times I'll be driving down the street and 3-4 houses in a row you can't see the address. They don't have it on the curb, they don't have it on their mailbox, it's not on their house of anywhere that you can see. And yes, we have navigation, and yes, Apple Maps and the navigation programs will pinpoint which house it is. But we don't know if that's right, and I don't want to 100% trust it either, because I don't want to deliver to the wrong house. So help us get the food to you. If you live in an apartment building where parking is an issue, offer to meet the driver in a specific spot in the parking lot, or add hints about where to park in the delivery instructions. Help them get the food to you. So many times I'll be circling an apartment complex trying to find the visitor parking. I don't like to double park behind a resident because, with my luck, that person's going to come out just as I'm walking away, and, there's going to be confrontation or whatever. Help us get the food to you. It's not that difficult. Just go the extra 5 seconds and help us get you your food. If your front door is behind a gate and you have a dog, please ask the driver to leave the food outside the gate. I've been surprised twice by dogs. The people didn't say anything about not opening the gate or leave the food outside the gate or that there's a dog in there or anything. It's very dangerous to allow a person to walk into that gate if there's a dog. Your dog may be the friendliest dog ever, but we're strangers to them and they could attack us, and then you'd be in big trouble. So please just put a note on the gate, put a note in the delivery instructions, whatever. I don't go behind the gates anymore. If there's a gate, I just leave the food outside the gate because I'm not taking many chances. But something bad could happen. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now the confusing delivery instructions. These are fun. Don't mark "hand it to me" and then also say "leave it at the door." Pick one or the other. We don't know what you mean. It says "hand it to me" and "leave it at the door." We have to hand it to you because the app will force us to. If you have chosen "hand it to me," either on purpose or by accident, we will knock on the door, ring the bell, call you and or text you to get your attention so you can come out and get your food handed to you. If you mark "hand it to me," the app makes us stand there for 5 minutes waiting for you to answer the door. So if you don't really want it handed to you, don't click "hand it to me," because we are then forced to stand there and wait until you come out so we can hand it to you. Okay, so that's really important. If you want us to leave it by the door, simply say "leave it by the door." It's so easy. Just click it. Leave it by the door. If you don't want us to knock or ring the bell, put it in the instructions. Say, "Hey, please don't knock or ring the bell. Just leave by the door." Or a lot of people will leave a sign on the front door. Please don't knock or ring the bell. It's easy as that. We don't know what you want unless you tell us. We don't know you. You don't know us. We don't want to do something to make you mad. We don't want to wake up your baby or make your dogs bark. But if we don't know, we don't know. So now, this is another thing that's difficult. Don't add restaurant requests in the delivery instructions. Please, please, please. We may not see these till we're already in the car and headed towards your house. At that point, it's too late. What am I talking about? "Oh, can you please bring me extra hot sauce?" Or, "I don't want Dr. Pepper. Can you please bring Diet Coke instead?" We are delivery people. We don't see these instructions until it's too late. And these are instructions for the restaurant, not the delivery person. So we're the delivery people, not the servers. We pick up the food, which is already bagged up and sealed. We don't know what's in the bag. Of course, we can check the receipt if one is attached, but that doesn't mean that's what's in the bag. And that's about as much info as we get as to what's in the bag. We can ask the person handing us the order, is everything in there? And they'll say, oh, yeah, but how do we know? We don't know. If something's missing, it's not our fault. It's the restaurant's fault. Don't get mad at your delivery person if, one of your orders of fries is missing. There's nothing we can do about it. We don't even know. We can't see what's in the bag. Keep in mind, most of us try to do a good job. We sometimes need to take a double delivery. I know that a lot of customers get really mad about this. I don't know if the apps tell you that we are on a double delivery or that we are on our way to deliver to someone else on our way to you. If we're driving off in some random direction, that's usually why. There are some dishonest delivery drivers, but most of us are doing as the apps ask. So if, I accept a double delivery, from Chick-fil-A, and I'm taking it to 2 separate houses, I'm going to go to the house that's closest first and then on to the one that's further away. That's just how it works. And the app tells you that. And then, so that person that's further away may see me drive off in another direction and get upset. But, I'll be on my way to your house soon. It's just that we don't really have control. If you have a double order, you have to deliver to both customers. That's just what it is. And there are a lot of double deliveries, stacked orders, double orders, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. This is not unique to Doordash, Grubhub. I think all of the platforms do this. So it's just kind of the way it works. We sometimes have to wait a very long time for the food to be ready. We should be communicating with the customers the reason for the delay. So like I always do. If it's going to be more than a couple minutes longer than expected, I'll just text them, say, hey, I'm still waiting for the food. As soon as it's ready, I'll head your way. Everyone's like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes I don't ever get any response. And I'm not sure the phone numbers associated with the order are actually correct. Or maybe the person just doesn't care and they don't want to respond. Or they didn't see the text or whatever. But I try to always communicate with my customers and let them know what's going on. And I think that as a whole, I think most drivers would do that. I don't know for sure, obviously, but it seems like common sense that you would. Sometimes there's a ton of traffic, or you're just stuck every single red light on the way, and it takes you longer to get there than it should. There's not much we can do about that, and, it just is what it is. Please try to be thankful and understand that we're usually doing our very best. I know that I personally am always trying to get the food to my customers as safely and quickly as possible. I use hot bags to keep the food warm, and I always read the delivery instructions so that I put the food where the customer requests. I want my customers to be happy. I want them to get their food. I want it to taste good. I want it to still be warm. I want it to be everything that they wanted it to be. I think most of us have that same thought. We don't get into this sort of job without having some sort of feeling of responsibility that we're getting that food to the customer in a prompt manner and with it, tasting good and it's warm still and it's what the customer expected. So just try really hard to understand what it is from our side, how things work and why we do the things we do. And know that we appreciate the tips. We appreciate the thank you texts that people send after their food is delivered. I really, really love getting those texts. Hey, thanks. Thanks for bringing me my food, whatever. It's just showing a little appreciation goes a long way. Whether it's a monetary tip or just a thank you or just a wave out the window like, hey, thanks. It's nice. I appreciate it. I really love doing this food delivery and, yeah, I hope to continue doing it for a while. I have a full-time job and I just do this on the side, just for some extra money, and I really enjoy it. And I take it very seriously, and I want to do a good job, and I really think most drivers do. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of share with you some things that from the driver's point of view, to you customers, so that you understand what it is that we're doing and why tips are important and why you need to just show a little bit of appreciation and not be so hard on everyone. I personally haven't really had any nasty customers, but I read about it a lot online, and it's kind of sad because when you're working really hard to try to do something for someone and someone's just jumping in your throat, it doesn't make you feel very good. So be kind, be thankful, and enjoy your dinner. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.